I mean, I don't think it's necessarily about. I don't necessarily think it's wrong, because I think everyone. I mean,
You don't think that's wrong?
no, I don't necessarily think it is, because I mean,
Well, a little thing, right? Do you think if it's not good enough to watch, do you think it's good enough that we put it in our mouths?
Hello everyone, I do hope you're well. It's Vegan Gaze here. Now, just for a bit of context of what you're about to see, we're at the We the Free event in Birmingham. There were over 100 activists. It was amazing to see such a turnout, and they decided to add, as well as the diamonds, 3-minute movies where people sit down and watch a 3-minute clip of what animals are subjected to as a result of choices that aren't vegan, and then they win a prize. And afterwards we have a discussion with them to see what their thoughts were and hopefully get them to make the connection. So myself, Chris Hines, as well as other activists, were waiting by the TVs, ready to have a discussion with people and see what they thought.
Why wouldn't you watch it, or what put you off? The animals. Is it because you like animals, or is that why you didn't?
I love animals, but I'm
Right, well, a little thing, right? Do you think if it's not good enough to watch, do you think it's good enough that we put it in our mouths?
Yeah.
You think?
I love likeness.
But do you think it's worth it for the animals and what they go through? No. Yeah. Because you obviously love animals.
If it was like, years ago where you didn't do it on mass thing, where it was like you had a farm and you had that red farm and that's all over.
Right. But do you think, right, even if, let's just say we've got a cow and it lives in a mansion, right, it's like treated like the best cow on earth. If we then take it to a slaughterhouse and put a bolt gun through its head, is that really okay? Well, we could have just gone in Tesco and bought something else, right? Yeah.
It isn't okay now, but it's something you get used to, isn't it?
Exactly, it's just like a habit, it's the norm, everyone does it.
So you just go and you just buy food, you buy meat, yeah?
Exactly, so that's what we're trying to get people to kind of think about. Obviously, we use animals in all different ways, whether it's food, clothing, animal testing, whether it's entertainment, animals in circuses, all that kind of stuff. But realistically, we don't need to do any of it. We can leave them alone and we can live happy and healthy. I mean, I haven't eaten meat since 2002. I've been fully vegan now for 7 years. It's not difficult. Just pick someone else up off a shelf.
I did do it, didn't I?
Did you?
I went meat free.
Okay.
I did like it, yeah. I did it for 3 months, just a challenge to myself.
And what was that? Was it more for a health reason, or?
It was just to, I was struggling with mental health, so the person I was speaking to said you need to challenge your mind. So that was my challenge. Don't eat meat or any animal products. And I did it for 3 months. I really enjoyed it, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what's really good for your mental health. Living a life where you know you don't support any cruelty.
And we both love animals.
We love animals.
Yeah, well, I can tell. I mean, the fact you don't want to watch it shows, because if you didn't care, you'll just be sat there going, oh, what's this?
No, I couldn't.
Not nice.
Yeah. So what we're basically encouraging people to do is basically live a vegan lifestyle. Now, veganism's got a bit of a stigma. Everyone's like, oh, bloody vegans, blah, blah, blah. What do you eat, grass? It's not that at all. It's just literally, you can eat everything you eat now, burgers, sausages, pizzas. You just get the plant-based version. That's all it is. And you decide in every decision in your life.
It tastes much differently, yeah?
It don't.
No, I like Richmond free. I like Richmond.
Yeah, 10 years ago you could have made the argument it tasted a bit crap. Today,
it's different, yeah. Everywhere's doing vegan.
You could do it if you wanted to do it.
Exactly, and it's just making a decision. Every time there's an option that involves an animal or doesn't involve an animal, you choose the one that don't involve it because it's the right thing to do for those animals. We all like the taste of meat. I'm not going to deny that we still like burgers and chicken and stuff. We do, but it's not worth it when they're getting their heads cold.
It's just something that you just turn your mind off to.
Yeah, for like 20 seconds of taste pleasure, an animal gets their head cold. Not for the animal, though.
We've got dogs and
well, there you go.
They're doing other parts of the world.
Well, think about this, right? If your dog was ill, right, and you needed to go put him down, would you take him to a slaughterhouse? Do you think that would be okay?
No, you wouldn't.
Exactly.
So, you'd have it the nicest way possible. You wouldn't just put a bullet in his head.
So slaughterhouses aren't humane. We're killing these animals at a fraction of their lifespan.
And after meat gets wasted.
I mean, like chickens. Do you know how long a meat chicken lives for? Have a guess. How long do you think that?
A few years.
I mean, you're closer. You're like literally 6 to 8 weeks. That's it. Or in the egg industry, the male chicks in the egg industry killed at 1 day old. They get, I don't know if you saw the footage. They get dropped into basically a rotating blender.
I don't want to know.
I've had them like chicken nuggets in it.
This is the thing. None of us want to know. But the more we know, the more it allows us to make proper decisions on, is this the right thing for us to do? And obviously you clearly love animals, and they're like, no, I don't want to see, I don't want to hear about it, and everything. So all you can do every day, have your breakfast, have your dinner, lunch, whatever you buy, what clothes you buy, you just think, does that involve harming an animal? If it does, I'm not going to do it, I'll take the other option. And that is basically, that's basically, I wouldn't even say cut back, I would just say the best thing, if any other issue, you wouldn't ever go, oh, I'm just going to cut back. You'd be like, no, I'm going to stop this wrong. Would you get him to see watch the video? See what you think about it? Hop round and you can watch it for 3 minutes. Go and have a look, See what you think. Close down, I'm going to say the same line to you. Oh, let me give you some info quick. Right, there's a QR code on there. It's got documentaries, you can get help and advice to do it. Well, drop someone a message and we can actually help you do it. And you can live in alignment with your values. You clearly love animals already.
Come on, check the
Do it.
And if you want me to explain what's happening,
I'd much rather a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you
My girlfriend's vegetarian. You mentioned it was veganism more than vegetarianism.
So what if we just come? Yeah, that's all right. Basically what you just saw there was farrowing crates. Do you know what they are? No. So farrowing crates are these breeding facilities where the pigs are born. So the sows, the mother cows, they will have these babies. They'll be in these crates that are not even, as you saw, not even as big as them really.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be in there for about 2 months while they have their sows. And I've been to these places, and inside each time you go, it's just like an endless line of all these mums and their babies.
So how do you go about sorting it? Because I agree. I'm a meat. I'm not vegan or vegetarian, but I don't agree with any of that.
Yeah.
But what on earth is going on to sort it?
Well, there's multiple things. So we could talk about policy change. We could talk about social, cultural change. It's just like with any other.
Do you truly believe that in 2, 4, 5 years that things will be different, or
different? But do you mean in a marginal way, in a big way?
In an animal cruelty being looked at in a lot more positive environment. So the way animals are treated right now isn't probably the best in terms of agriculture.
Yeah.
But is things going to change? Because the agriculture industry is quite...
It's massive, yeah. I just refer back to history and look at any kind of time period. If you look at each year that goes by, 50 years, there's massive shifts, or you could say small shifts. But if we refer back, to 100 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to vote. I wouldn't,
Of course.
So it seems we have a problem as humans, cognitively, where we can conceptualize things as they aren't. So it's really strange to think, maybe this wouldn't actually change. But as soon as people aren't actually partaking in something, it's so much easier for them to say, that's wrong, and vote. People, even meat eaters, would vote against factory farming. So
exactly. That's where I stand. What do you think is going to be the key catalyst then in changing the way it's done? Because I looked at a lot of the lab-grown meat, for example, but that just never ever seemed to get the kind of attention in the media, and so it never got broadcasted as much.
It's just got FDA approval.
Oh, it did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
FDA approval, and we will see probably in the next 10 years, but it'll be about 10 years probably when we look at the way that these technologies come out.
So I think it's brilliant. I think the way like I said, I completely agree. I just think it's going to be one of those slow burners, unfortunately.
Yeah. The question is it's nice to think about what might happen in the future, but what would you do if you don't agree with that? What would you do right now?
If you don't agree with it, I don't think it's necessarily about. I don't necessarily think it's wrong, because I think everyone.
You don't think that's wrong?
No, I don't necessarily think it is, because I don't agree with any of that. The way that the world's built, if that wasn't happening, it's clearly happening for a reason, because humans eat meat. That's the way that nature causes. If you choose,
would you say that about other things? Like loads of bad things happen to humans.
No, exactly, but I don't necessarily think that's wrong. Like natural disasters and things like that.
So no, we're not talking about natural disasters because we actively do that like purposefully, right? Not like a natural disaster. So that would be analogous to.
We naturally do that, but once upon a time there was a decision made to naturally to start.
So that's natural.
Well, the natural decision, yes. The decision making behind that decision, yes.
Yeah, but I'm confused as to what you're saying though. So you're saying it's happening for a reason, therefore it's justified?
No, it's not justified.
Oh, so
I don't. Check the Uber.
I think it's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you wouldn't justify that for a human or a dog,
like I said,
then
I don't justify it, but it's a long conversation.
It
But
is
I've
a long
got my Uber to the
conversation,
cricket.
But yeah,
But I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I think it's right. Like I said, my girlfriend's a vegan.
Yeah,
but
I really would have a question about that because what's the morally significant difference between them and us that would justify doing that? There's nothing. You want to say intelligence? Well, unintelligent humans.
Oh no, I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
I do agree.
Just it might happen for a reason doesn't make it okay. Yeah.